Hello students, in today's lecture we discuss the theorem about the linear dependence. Okay, so the theorem statement is, let S be a subspace of the vector space V over the field F such that S is generated by n vectors a1 a2 up to an, and suppose b1 b2 up to bm are the vectors in S with m greater than n, then the vectors b1 b2 up to bm are linearly dependent. Okay, first of all we have given S is a subspace of vector space V over the field F, and suppose S is generated by the n vectors. These are the n vectors a1 a2 an such that S is generated by these n vectors. Now the next you have given, suppose this set of vectors b1 b2 up to bm are the vectors in S. These are also, this b1 b2 bm are the vectors in S with m is greater than n. Okay, with this m is greater than this n, as we have given S is generated by these n vectors, and this is another set of vectors in S with the property that m is greater than n. Then the vectors b1 b2 bm are linearly dependent. Okay, then we have to show that this set of vectors which are contained in the set S containing these m vectors b1 b2 bm is linearly dependent set. That is what we have to show in that theorem. We have given S is generated by n vectors. Okay, these n vectors a1 a2 an, and another set of vector, if we have given any another set of vector b1 b2 up to bm with this property, this is very important property, m is strictly greater than n if S contains the another set of vector other than this generator, other than this n generators with the property this vm vectors or this vector, this vectors b1 b2 bm with property this m is greater than, strictly greater than, if contains this set of vectors contain the more elements than the generator set, then this set of vector is nothing but the linearly dependent set in the set S. Okay, that's we have to show. Now the proof is, we prove the result by the method of the induction on n. Okay, we prove this theorem by the method of induction on the value of an n. Okay, for n is equal to 1. Now consider, we know that in the method of induction the first step we prove for it n is equal to 1. Therefore we have, as n is equal to 1, as we know that the set S is consisting of how many elements generated by the n elements. Okay, as S is equal to a1 a2 up to so on an. Therefore for n is equal to 1, here we put n value as an 1. This implies S is equal to a1. Okay, here we put as n is equal to 1 is consisting of an only one vector, that is an an. Okay, a1 up to so on, how many elements? N elements. But if you put n is equal to 1, it consisting of only a1 element. Okay, so in that case, now suppose this a1 element we consider as an a. Okay, this is implies that S is equal to span of this only one element, that is an a element. Okay, therefore S is equal to, for n is equal to 1, we have S is equal to span of a, and we are given vectors b1 b2 bm in S with m is greater than 1. Okay, and we have the set of vectors b1 b2 bm in S with m value is strictly greater than 1. Here there is restriction on only n, there is no restriction on the value of an m. Here m is strictly greater than 1. Now then b1 is equal to lambda 1a, as S is equal to span of a and these vectors are present from the set S. Okay, so every vector is a linear combination of this a. Okay, so b1 vector can be written as an lambda 1a, b2 can be written as lambda 2a up to so on bm can be written as an lambda m into a, for lambda I belongs to field F and I running from 1 to up to so on m. Okay, as this I is running from 1 to up to so on m. Now we have to show that these vectors, this set of vectors b1 b2 up to bm, in the first case we have to show that these are linearly dependent set. So what is a condition for the linear dependence? As we have to show that the set of vectors, as we have to show that set of vectors b1 b2 up to so on bm is linearly dependent, That is, we have to show that the linear combination of this vector, suppose we consider some scalars lambda I, okay, lambda 1 b1 plus lambda 2 b2 up to so on lambda m bm is equal to 0. If this condition is happens, implies that at least one lambda I is non-zero. Okay, this is a condition of the linear dependence. Okay, if this linear combination is equal to 0 of this vector, then at least one lambda I must be a non-zero. Okay, so this is a condition of a linear dependence, and in the first case we have to show this, that is the linear combination of this vector if is equal to 0, then at least one of the lambda I, this value nothing but the non-zero value. So consider at least one lambda j non-zero. We have to show that this set is linearly independent, that is we have to show that at least one lambda j should be non-zero. Otherwise, now consider we have to show at least one lambda j non-zero. Now consider all lambda j are 0. If this condition is not happens, lambda j is non-zero. If this condition is not happens, then all lambda j's must be 0. Then otherwise all lambda j's must be 0 for I running from 1 to up to so on m, and if all lambda j's are equal to 0, that is lambda 1 lambda 2 up to lambda m is equal to 0. Okay, so put lambda 1 is equal to 0 here, therefore b1 is equal to 0, lambda 2 is equal to 0 here, therefore b2 is equal to 0 up to so on lambda m is equal to 0 implies bm is equal to 0. Therefore in that case b1 b2 b3 up to so on bm, all these vectors are nothing but equivalently 0. Okay, so as all vectors are equivalently 0 implies for any two vectors b1 minus b2, if we consider these two vectors b1 minus b2, as these both vectors are equivalently 0 implies their subtraction is also 0. Okay, and as their subtraction is equal to 0 implies b1 is equal to b2. Okay, from this case we have b1 is equal to b2, that is 1 is in the linear combination of an other. Okay, so here for the any two vectors, if their subtraction is 0, then b1 is equal to b2, and 1 is in the linear combination of an other, and this is nothing but the linear relation of the linear dependence. We know that if one vector is in linear combination of the other vector in the set of vector, then this set of vector is linearly dependent set. Okay, so here if we consider these two elements in the linear combination of one another, therefore this is the relation of a linear dependence. That's we have to show that this is set is linearly dependent set. Therefore from that condition we have already shown that this set is a linearly dependent. This is happen in this case if all these bi's are equal to 0. Now in the another case, at least one lambda j is non-zero. Okay, assume that lambda j is non-zero. Okay, here we consider suppose lambda j is not equal to 0, and suppose lambda 1 is also not equal to 0. Okay, now if lambda j and lambda 1 is non-zero and the other scalars are 0, suppose in the other case, suppose lambda j non-zero and lambda 1 is non-zero and other scalars are 0 and the other scalars are 0. As we know that b1 is equal to what is the value of a, lambda 1a, b2 is equal to lambda 2a up to so on bm is equal to lambda m of a. Now as we show, we have already only consider lambda j non-zero and lambda 1 is equal to non-zero. Here's something, here bj is equal to lambda j into some a. Okay, here is a midway vector bj. Okay, now as lambda j non-zero, lambda 1 non-zero and the other scalars are 0, that is implies that this lambda 2 is equal to 0, then lambda 3 is equal to 0 up to so on this lambda m is equal to 0, implies that the vectors are nothing but b1 is equal to lambda 1a, then this b2 is nothing but the 0, since this lambda 2 is equal to 0. Again b3 is nothing but the lambda 3 into a, this is again 0 since lambda 3 is equal to 0 up to so on this bj, lambda j is non-zero, this as it is, bj is equal to lambda j into a up to so on the last one vector is bm is equal to lambda m into a, since this lambda m is also 0, this is implies this is also equal to 0. Now take a linear combination of these vectors. Okay, take a linear combination of these vectors. This is implies b1, consider the linear combination of this vector, suppose b1, and multiplied this vector by the lambda j. Therefore this can be written as an lambda j into b1. Okay, therefore take a LHS only b1, b2, b3, bj up to so on bm. Now since here b2 is identically 0, this is implies this can be written as an 0 into b2 plus 0 into b3 plus 0 into b4 up to so on. Consider the bj term, multiplied it by the lambda 1, lambda j, since it is not equal to 0. Okay, then multiply, take a scalar lambda 1 here, lambda 1 into bj plus the next term is 0 into bj plus 1 up to so on. The last term is 0 into bm. Since bm is identically 0, we consider it as an 0 into bm. This term is equal to, now this is an LHS term. Now consider the RHS. The first term is lambda 1 into a and multiplied. We know that here multiplied by, the first term is multiplied by the lambda j. Therefore this is implied is equal to multiplied it by lambda j into lambda 1 into a. Then the next term is, here is 0 multiplied by any element, it becomes again 0 plus up to so on. Then the next term is bj term. Okay, bj term, here we multiplied bj term by the lambda 1. Therefore we have to multiply it here by lambda 1 plus lambda 1 into lambda j into a. Okay, now lambda j into a plus up to so on. The last term is 0. Here the last term is 0 multiplied any number, it becomes 0. Okay, now consider here lambda j b1 plus 0 into b2 plus 0 into b3 plus up to so on 0 into b4 up to so on. Suppose this is a minus 1, multiplied it by the minus of 1. Here we have to show that also multiplied here by the minus of lambda of 1. Therefore here we have the term lambda j into b1, these are the 0 terms. Therefore this should be neglected, minus of lambda 1 into bj, which is equal to, now here in the RHS, which are the terms remaining, lambda j into lambda 1 a minus of lambda 1 into bj into a. Okay, now this term, consider this term lambda j lambda 1 into a, lambda 1 lambda j into a, this becomes 0. This is implies that lambda j b1 minus lambda 1 bj, which is equal to 0. Now consider the linear combination of these two vectors for b1 b2, for b1 and bj. Okay, for b1 and bj, for these two vector, their linear combination lambda j b1 minus lambda 1 bj is equal to 0. But already we consider here, already what we have considered, lambda lambda j non-zero and lambda 1 non-zero. Therefore for these two vector, this set of vector b1 and bj is linearly dependent. But here lambda j non-zero and lambda 1 is also non-zero. Therefore this set of vector, for this set of vector, this linear combination is equal to 0, but these vectors are non-zero. This implies that this set is linearly dependent for the case n is equal to 1. This is only for the n is equal to 1. Therefore if we consider the case, now here, now look at here, lambda j is non-zero. Therefore here we consider the direct term. I will give you explain why this should be happen and how it becomes come. Okay, so for lambda j is not equal to 0, we have that this term implies for the any two vectors b1 and the bj, this linear combination is equal to 0, but this vector lambda j and lambda 1 is non-zero. Implies, this is implies that as lambda j is non-zero, this set of vectors is linearly dependent. Therefore this case is only for the n is equal to 1. Okay, this is the first case in the mathematical induction. Now suppose the second case, what would be assumed in the second case? Suppose as our induction hypothesis that the theorem is true for the subspace generated by n-1 vectors. Now in the second case, by the induction hypothesis we assume that the theorem is true for the subspace generated by the n-1 vectors. Okay, we consider here mathematical induction on the n. Therefore we assume the statement is true for the n-1 vectors. Now in the next case was what we have to show, the theorem is true for the n vectors. Okay, now the third case, consider m distinct vectors b1, b2, bm contained in the span of S considered in the set S is equal to span of a1, a2, an with m is greater than n. Now here consider m distinct vectors b1, b2, bm and which is contained in the set S. This is already we have given. This set of vectors is contained in that set which is in the span of a1, a2, an with m value is greater than n. Now look at here, like the first case, the each vector can be written in the linear combination of these vectors a1, a2, an. The first vector, how it can be written? b1 is equal to lambda 1 1 a1 plus lambda 1 2 a2 plus up to so on lambda 1 and an. Second vector b2, lambda 2 1 a1 plus lambda 2 2 a2 up to lambda 2 and an. And the last vector bm is equal to lambda m1 a1 plus lambda m2 a2 up to lambda mn an for some lambda ij belongs to field. These are the scalars. Suppose this is the equation star. Okay, now we can assume that lambda I1 is non-zero for some I. Now take a supposition, suppose lambda I1 is non-zero for some I. Otherwise the terms involving A1 are all missing from the equation star. Consider lambda I1 is non-zero. Now suppose if lambda I1 is equal to 0. Consider if lambda I1 is equal to 0. Now as lambda I1 is equal to 0, as lambda I1 is equal to, we have considered lambda I1 is non-zero. Okay, now suppose if lambda I1 is equal to 0, okay, for some I running from 1 to up to so on m. Now put I is equal to 1. Okay, for this we have lambda 1 1 is equal to 0. If put I is equal to 2, then lambda 2 1 is equal to 0. Put I is equal to 3, lambda 3 1 is equal to 0 up to so on. What is the value of up to? I has a value up to m. Therefore the last term lambda m1 is equal to 0. All these terms are is equal to 0. Therefore now look at here. Now look at here, as lambda 1 1 is equal to 0, this term becomes 0. Okay, as lambda 1 1, first term lambda 1 1 is equal to 0, then this term lambda 1 1 a1 is equal to 0. If lambda 2 1 is equal to 0, lambda 2 1 is a1 is equal to 0, this term becomes 0. Then here again the last term is lambda m1 is, if lambda m1 is equal to 0, consider here lambda 1 m1 is equal to 0, therefore implies lambda m1 a1 is equal to 0. Therefore all these terms become 0. Then here if these terms are 0, then b1 is equal to, starting from here, lambda 1 2 a2 up to lambda 1 and an. Then b2 is equal to lambda 2 2 a2 up to lambda 2 and an. Then bm is equal to lambda m2 a2 plus lambda mn an. Okay, for lambda ij belongs to field m. Here the a1 term is neglected here. Okay, so each element b1 can be written in the span of this n minus 1 vectors. Which are these vectors? a2, a3 up to an. Also look at here b2. If this term is 0, this can be written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vectors. Okay, again if in the bm lambda m1 is equal to 0, implies this can be written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vector, starting from which vector? a2 to an. Again here a2 to an. Again here a2 to an. Okay, so each vector as linear it can be written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vector, implies that in that case, so as lambda I1 is equal to 0, otherwise the terms involving a1 are all missing from the equation star. The previous is the equation star. Here if this lambda I1 is equal to 0, then all the terms of a1 are missing from that star, and implies that for as m is greater than n minus 1, as by the induction hypothesis, okay, by the induction hypothesis b1 b2 bm are all belongs to the subspace span of a2 a3 a. Now as I am already said here before, as each vector as a1 is equal to 0. If the first term a1 is missing or it becomes 0, then each vector can be written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vector. Each vector can be written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vector. And as in the induction hypothesis, we all already assume that the result is true for the subspace generated by the n minus 1 vector. As each vector here can be written in the linear combination of the n minus 1 vector, that is by induction hypothesis. By induction hypothesis, b1, b2, bm are linearly dependent. Okay, and the result is true for n minus 1 vectors. b1, b2, bm are all belongs to the subspace span of a2, a3, an with n minus 1 generators, implies that by induction hypothesis this vector can be linearly dependent. So we are through in this case. Okay, so we are through in this case. Now suppose that lambda I1 is non-zero. Okay, this is the case for lambda I1 is equal to 0. The first, what is the case here? Here this is the case for lambda I1 is equal to 0. Now suppose that lambda I1 is non-zero. If lambda I1 is non-zero, we may assume that lambda 11 is non-zero. First of all, consider if lambda 11 is non-zero. Then the coefficient of A1 in B2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse B1 is. Now this is nothing but the all substitution part and some construction part. Okay, now as lambda 11 is non-zero, suppose lambda 11 is non-zero, then the coefficient of A1 in B2 minus, we have to find the coefficient of A1 in B2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse B1. Okay, now consider B2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse into B1, which is equal to B2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse, what is the value of B1 in from the star. Okay, from the star the value of an B1, what is an B1? A11 into, lambda of A11 into A1 plus lambda of A12 into A2 plus up to so on lambda of A1m into An. This value is the value of an B1, can be taken from that equation. Here the value of B1 is lambda 11 A1 plus lambda 12 A2 up to so on lambda A1, here lambda A1 A. Okay, now take a subtraction or simplification is, which is equal to B2 minus multiplied throughout the bracket lambda 21, this is lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse into lambda 11 A1. This is the first term. Okay, this is multiplied to first term of the bracket. Then again minus of lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 12 into A2 multiplied to this term up to so on. The last term, what is the last term? Lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 11 1n into an. This is the last term. Therefore, now what is the coefficient of A1? Now look at here. What is the coefficient of A1? Now look at here. Here we have to find as the coefficient of the B2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse B1. Okay. Therefore, this is the B2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse into, put the value of an B1. This is the value. Okay. Then multiply lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse with this each term of this bracket. Okay. This is B2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 11 A1 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse into lambda 12 A2 plus up to so on last term. Then put the value of an B2 from the equation start. This value is lambda 21 A1 plus lambda 22 A2 plus up to so on lambda 2n En minus subtraction as it is. Okay, only take a minus sign outside and the addition should be, added term should be inside the bracket. Then take the subtraction of these both brackets and take a a1, a2, a3 outside and take a coefficient inside the bracket of this term. Therefore, the first consider a1. Okay, here is a1 and this bracket here is a1. Okay, therefore the coefficient, what is an coefficient of an a1? First of all, this is lambda 21 minus of lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 11 into a1. As a1 is common to both, it should be taken outside the bracket. Plus the second term is coefficient of an a2. Here is a2 and here is a2. Then this is lambda 22 minus, here there is a minus sign, minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 12. Therefore this is the coefficient. Okay, into a2 up to so on. The last term should be taken in that way. Okay, last term, here the coefficient, look at the coefficients of an an. Here the coefficient is lambda 2n and here the coefficient is lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 1n. Therefore it should be taken outside. Now we have to find the coefficient of an a1. So what is an coefficient of a1? This is lambda 21 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 11. Now look at here, the coefficient of a1 is lambda 21 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 11, which is equal to 0. Okay, this is equal to 0. Why is equal to 0? Since lambda 11 inverse lambda 11, this is lambda 11 inverse multiplied to it, therefore it becomes an 1. Okay, and therefore lambda 21 minus lambda 21, it becomes 0. Therefore the coefficient of an a1 becomes 0. Now therefore by using this term as the coefficient of a1 in b2 minus of lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse b1 is, what is this term? Lambda 21 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 1, and this value becomes 1 and lambda 21 minus lambda 21 becomes 0. So that as the coefficient of a1 becomes 0, so that this term b2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse b1 is equal to what? By simplification. Okay, as this coefficient, first coefficient is 0, then this term b2 minus this term b2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse b1, what is this? Here this term is becomes 0. Okay, therefore the remaining term is lambda 22 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse lambda 12 a2. Suppose this is something a22 dash. Okay, this whole term consider as an something lambda 22 dash. Then the next term here, something term, suppose this is considered as an lambda 23 dash, and the last term suppose this is considered as an lambda 2n dash. Okay, so this term becomes, therefore suppose this is a. Okay, so from a, this term b2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 inverse b1 is equal to, as this term is 0. Okay, so therefore the next term is, suppose this coefficient is lambda 22 dash into a2 plus the next term is lambda 23 dash into a3 plus up to so on. The last term, what is the last term? Lambda 2n dash into an. Okay, therefore the coefficient, when this coefficient of an a1 becomes 0, the term which is remaining is this lambda 22 dash a2 plus lambda 23 dash a3 plus up to so on lambda 2n dash into an. Okay, therefore this can be written here. Okay, b2 minus lambda 21, lambda 11 dash b1 is equal to this term. For some new constant lambda 22 dash up to so on lambda 2n dash in the field. Therefore for some constant, these are the new constants which are written here. Now similarly we have, by this same procedure, okay, by using the same simplification as above, if we consider similarly b3 minus lambda 31, lambda 11 inverse b1, this term, by using same simplification as above, as with this term is find out. Okay, by using same simplification, this term is nothing but lambda 32 dash a2 plus up to so on lambda 3n dash an and the last term bm minus lambda m lambda 1 1 inverse b1. This term is nothing but lambda m2 dash a2 plus up to so on lambda mn dash an. Now we have to show that these terms are linearly dependent. Okay, now we have shown that m minus 1 vectors, these are m minus 1 vectors. Okay, b2 minus lambda 2 1, consider these terms, all these terms are in the one bracket. Okay, b2 minus lambda 2 1 lambda 1 1 inverse b1, then b3 minus lambda 3 1 lambda 1 1 inverse b1 up to so on the last term. What is the last term? bm minus lambda m lambda 1 1 inverse b1 in the one bracket, all belongs to the subspace of span of a2 a3 an with n minus 1 generators. Now look at all these terms. The first term b2 minus lambda 2 1 lambda 1 1 inverse bm is consist, or it can be written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vectors. Here a1 is not present. It can be written in the linear combination of the vectors from a2 a3 up to so on an, that is this total are the n minus 1 vectors. Now look at here, this term is also considered or written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vectors. Also this term is written in the linear combination of this n minus 1 vector. So all these terms are written in the linear combination of the other span of starting from a2 to n with n minus 1 vector. Now since m is greater than n, this is already given, therefore m minus 1 is greater than n minus 1, and as these all vectors are written in the linear combination of these n minus 1 vectors, by the induction hypothesis, as by the second case, we assume that the result is true for the vectors consisting of an n minus 1 vectors. Okay, so by using this induction hypothesis, there exist an elements mu2 mu3 up to mu n in f not all 0, such that there exist and this scalars mu2 mu3 mu m, such that mu2 into this mu2 into first vector, then mu3 into second vector up to so on the mu m into the last vector. This linear combination is equal to 0. Okay, therefore rewriting this expression, now consider rewriting this expression as linear combination of, now rewriting this expression as linear combination of the b1 b2 bm. Therefore we write, as we have this expression, consider the last expression mu2 into b2 minus lambda 2 1 lambda 1 1 inverse b1 up to so on mu m into bm minus lambda m1 lambda 1 1 inverse b1, which is equal to 0. Now consider multiplied mu2 inside the bracket, mu m inside the bracket, and take b1 outside. There we get some coefficient and then multiplied to it b1, then some plus some coefficient multiplied to b2 plus up to some coefficient multiplied to bm. Therefore by rewriting this term, we get these terms as minus mu2 lambda 2 1 lambda 1 1 inverse plus up to minus mu m lambda m minus 1 lambda 1 1 inverse into first vector b1 plus mu2 into b2 plus up to mu m into bm, which is equal to 0, where at least one of the coefficient mu2 mu3 up to mu m is different from 0, as this mu m, all these mu m's are linearly dependent. Okay, all these vectors are linearly, as this is a linear combination of the n minus 1 vector. By using this scalars, all the scalars mu2 mu3 mu m are nothing but the non-zero scalars. Therefore by using this fact, where at least one of the coefficient of mu2 mu3 mu m is different from 0, therefore this completes the proof that b1 b2 bm are linearly dependent. As these coefficients are other than 0, implies that this set of vector is nothing but the linearly dependent. Therefore this case is also shown by using this fact. Therefore this theorem is somewhere complicated, but there is some construction part. Look at this construction part, and this need to have an write down in the proof there, but this is some conceptual and some substitution part. Therefore look at this properly and you will be easily understand this part. Okay, so this is all about your proof. So read in a proper way for this proof, so you will understand it properly. Okay, what we should consider in this proof, we go through the some method of an induction. Okay, first of all we prove it for n is equal to 1, then assume for the induction step for n minus 1 vectors the theorem is true, and lastly we proved it for the n vectors or the m vectors. Okay, therefore this is the proof of that theorem.